Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. And today, we're going to react to why the NBA ratings are down. Oh boy, it's time for me to touch on this topic right here. I've been holding off on this topic because I've just been rallying up everything I need to rally up to explain my point of view. Because you know me, my point of view is going to be way deeper than everybody else's. Everybody else talk about the three-point shooting, everything's the same, the blowouts. Nobody plays defense anymore, yada, yada, yada. Same old, but nobody's pointing out the real issue. So I'm going to point them out as we go along here. But anyway, so without further ado, let's hop right into this video right here.
So all year and really the last couple years, we've been having the discussion about ratings and why are ratings down in the NBA? A lot of people point to the style of play and all the three-pointers. People point to stars not playing in back-to-backs and load managing. Of course, it's not just one singular thing that is making ratings go down, and I will try to address as many of them as possible in this video, but the one I don't feel like people are talking about enough, and maybe it's just me, I think the play-in tournament has had a negative effect on the product. First of all, what has it actually done? What are the big play-in success stories?
That's one of my big main points is the play-in tournament, but it's also other factors too.
Because you look at Miami, the year they made it to the finals, they were already in. They were a top 8 seed. The Lakers, when they made it to a conference finals, they were already in. They were a top 8 seed. One thing I could remember is it took Steph Curry out of the playoffs in a year where he was averaging 32 points per game. Now, obviously, you could say, Steph Curry, you were, what, the 7 seed or the 8 seed? Just win one game and you're in, for sure, you could say that. But they lost to the Lakers, and then they lost to the Grizzlies, and they were out. And that's when Steph Curry was at the podium, and he gave us the, you don't want to see us next year. What happened next year? They won a championship. So who knows how the domino effect of all that. But that's the one thing I can think of that really had an impact, where you took away your biggest ratings draw for the play-in. You got a couple play-in games, but no Steph Curry in the playoffs, right? The other thing is the Pelicans. I'm a Pelicans fan, so I have firsthand experience of what the play-in can do. We started 2-12 one year. We finished off the season 36-46, I believe. We make it to the play-in as a 10 seed. We beat the Spurs, or maybe we're the 9 seed. We beat the Spurs, right? And then the Clippers. Paul George misses that game. We beat the Clippers. And then we get the Phoenix Suns in the first round, and Devin Booker ends up getting hurt. So a 36-win team is on the precipice of beating a 64-win Phoenix Suns team, but they end up losing. That's a great story. That's an amazing story for the Pelicans. No one else really cares about that. I think people would have much rather been seeing the Clippers against the Suns over the Pelicans, even though it was a tough series. I don't want to rehash that, but a 36-win team should not be in the playoffs, regardless of how they got to 36 wins. But I say all that because the play-in now devalues the regular season even more. It devalues it even more. Maybe it makes the last couple weeks more entertaining because teams are fighting for a 6 seed now. And then you got teams fighting for a 7 or 8. And then you got...
Nah, it should be the 10th and the 9th seed fighting for that 8th seed. But if you ain't got the record to get in there, if you ain't winning enough games to catch up to the 8th seed, then shit, you out. It used to be like that, but let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, though.
Teams fighting for 9 or 10, right? So that aspect makes it a little bit more entertaining to a certain extent, but it also makes these regular season games a lot less entertaining when you know worst case scenario, you still got a chance to play your way in. And I would say last year in the Western Conference, at least, it had more of a negative effect, right? It seemed like it was going to be leading up to this crescendo, but really it led to everyone just being complacent. We're in the top 10, right? Because you had the Warriors and Kings at 46 wins. You had the Lakers at 47, Pelicans, Suns at 49. All those teams were kind of battling it out. And then it became evident that the Rockets were not going to catch up to any of those teams. So it didn't turn out to be all that entertaining, where in a regular playoff format, you have the Lakers, Kings, Warriors, Pelicans, Suns, all fighting to make sure they actually get into the top 8. So when we're consistently devaluing these games, why do people care? I look at the Phoenix Suns. They played, who'd they play last night? Orlando. No Franz, no Paolo, obviously. And they were just chilling out there. They're just chilling out there. They're now 12-11 on the year. And it doesn't matter because you know what? Worst case scenario, we're going to be in the play-in. We're going to be in the play-in. We got Devin Booker, KD. We're in the play-in. You guys seen the Jokic quotes from the other night saying, maybe if we got paid less when we lose or something, whatever he said, right? The Nuggets are 12-10. They're chilling. They're chilling. It don't matter. They're going to be in the play-in, and they got the best player in the world. Now, the Eastern Conference is a different ball game because the Philadelphia 76ers are 7-15, and they are only 4 games behind the 6th seed. So it's a different equation, but even still, when you start the year, they started 2-12 or something like that. Everybody knew, okay, worst case scenario, they'll get the 10 seed. Before we knew how bad the East was really going to be, worst case scenario, they'll be 9-10, and they have Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey in the play-in. Everything's fine. That just breeds disinterest, where why should I really care about these games when none of them seem to matter? In an 82-game season, which almost leaves basketball feeling like baseball, where nobody cares on a national level, but in the local markets, those teams are doing extremely well, which is how we're getting $250 million deals. Same thing in basketball, where I don't think anyone is keeping up nationally on the day-to-day of the Sacramento Kings or the Indiana Pacers or even the big market teams. It just doesn't feel important when there's 82 of these games and the players are showing us they don't really care about it on a night-to-night basis. And it's almost hard to even blame them post 2016, which is crazy to me that everyone just decided, okay, because this team that won 73 games and came a couple seconds away from being a championship team and the greatest team of all time, because they didn't win the championship, regular season doesn't matter anymore. And because LeBron would coast sometimes, regular season doesn't matter anymore. And now we add the play-in, and it's like, what are we actually playing for in game 25 of 82? When worst case scenario, at the end of the year, I'm the best player on this team, or I'm one of the greatest players in the NBA, and I'm wired that way. You know what? We got one game to get in. We can win that. I'm not saying they're thinking that right now, but it's subconsciously there. Worst case scenario, we're in the play-in. I don't even think you can argue that removing the play-in would make these games feel much more important. It would make it much more competitive. The storylines would be much more interesting. Part of being a fan is riding the emotional roller coaster of a season. With the play-in, there's really only so far low you can get. Pacers fans right now should be feeling terrible. And they probably are. They probably still are, right?
As they should. Fuck Indiana.
Like, man,
fuck
we're gonna
Indiana.
miss the playoffs, and they're going to be in the play-in, worst case scenario. And to me, it's not good.
Good. That's what they get. Fuck Indiana.
It's not good.
Trash ass team.
To address the other reason people think ratings are down, which is the three-point shooting. I know it sounds like a boomer take, but I actually agree to a certain extent. I don't know to what extent, but I do believe the three-point shooting, much like baseball, here we go again, where baseball, I'm not a baseball fan. If you're watching this, you're probably not a baseball fan either. But there used to be a nuance to the game where people would, go for a double. People would do more pop flies. I'm just talking, I don't really know anything about baseball, but I know that for a fact that now in baseball, much like basketball, it is home runs and singles. It is home runs and walks or whatever, I don't know. But in basketball, it is three-pointers and layups, and you do remove a lot of the creativity in the game. You remove a lot of the artistry, a lot of the personality that made us fall in love with these star players when now everyone just spamming threes. And you got to give credit to guys that are still making that creative, like a Luka Doncic or a LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, guys that really have that creativity on the court, but it's actually less and less of that in today's NBA. And it's funny because these guys are more talented and more skilled than ever, yet majority of NBA players don't have any real personality or style to them. Everyone plays the same. It's almost like we're running a simulation out there. So yeah, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. There's obviously more than one reason why ratings are down. People just generally not interested in TV like that. People are watching their YouTubers or streamers. I know for a fact I have people that watch my videos that probably don't even watch the games. And one more thing on the play-in point, maybe I'll like it more when the NBA expands because they're clearly headed for expansion. So maybe if they keep it 10 teams, but it's a 16-team conference instead of the 15, maybe that'll make it a little bit more competitive. Get the Grizzlies out east. I don't want to send the Timberwolves east. I don't know why. That just seems like such a Western Conference staple, even though they really haven't done anything in their time. But I want to keep the Timberwolves. Send the Grizzlies east. Send the Pelicans east. Put a team in Vegas. We know they're planning on that. Put a team in Seattle or maybe Mexico City. It seems like they're trying to do that. Whatever it is, make that expansion. We know we're headed to that. Maybe that'll change my perception on the play-in a little bit. But yeah, I think the play-in is the biggest thing that no one really talks about that changed the really competitiveness of a lot of these games. A lot of teams.
All right, bro. I hear you. But it's my turn now. It's my turn. Where's that Skip Bayless at? That's Skip Bayless. I think I got it over here. Hold on. That's Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless. Nope, I ain't got it. I thought I had it on here. It's my turn. Listen, the real problem. I'm going to say it right now. The real problem. The real motherfucking problem is the play-in. I think what we should do with the play-in and the in-season tournament, I think we should just take the two, slap them together. The in-season cup, let's just make that the play-in, and let's just make that for the 10 worst, the 5 worst teams from each Western Conference. At the end of the season, we have the 5 worst teams from each conference battle it out. So we have the 5 worst teams from both conferences. So that's 10 teams. 1 game tournament. Single elimination tournament to determine who gets the number 1 pick. Now I know what y'all thinking. Well, that would lead to the Lakers getting draft picks. That would lead to certain big market teams tanking on purpose just to get draft picks. It is what it is. But at the same time, this could hear me out before y'all start saying dumb shit. Hear me out. If we take that and we make that the end game goal is to see who can get the number 1 seed, then we can take the other teams that didn't finish. So we take all the other teams that didn't finish and we ran. So the last 2 teams to make it to the final round is the number 1. The winner gets the number 1 pick. The loser gets the number 2 pick. And then the other ones are randomly generated. So they have they do a random generator. And then, so just like the, what they call it, the draft lottery selection. Yeah. So like 3 through 10, they get selected by random. So it's like randomly selected. So we do it the old way with the pinballs. And then we say, oh, well, the Pelicans get the 3rd seed. All right. So the Pelicans got the 3rd seed. Okay, we do it like that. I think that's fair. The worst 2 teams fight for the teams that go the distance get the 1st and the number 2 pick. The other teams, they get randomly generated. So that way it's not completely rigged. So therefore it's just for the first 2 picks. Then and these are guaranteed picks. So that would mean that the first 10 picks of the draft are always guaranteed, meaning they can't be traded. Even if another team got a swap, that only means that if that team has like an 11th or 15th pick, then that can get swapped to another team, but top 10 picks can't get swapped. That's for tournament purposes. So if we did it like that, that would compensate for that would compensate for some exciting basketball at the end before we go to the playoffs, because we need to stop with the participation trophy awards. We don't need no more participation trophy awards. That's the thing that's hurting the league the most, is this participation trophy awards, the in-season tournament, the play-in tournament. They're both participation awards, and I don't like them. I don't think that they're necessary. That's what's bringing the ratings down. We're giving out too many participation trophy awards, and we're not focusing on winners and losers. That's what this league has always been based off. Who is honestly the best? You can't determine that if you have fucking 10th seeds and 9th seeds knocking off the 7th and 8th seeds, and then you got weak ass first rounds, And then that destroys the whole dynamic. We need to go back to the original format. No more trophies. No more participation trophy awards for ninth seeds and 10th seeds. If you're the ninth seed and the 10th seed, you're done. You didn't do what you needed to do to get in. That's why the NFL is still king, because if you don't have if your record doesn't match the record of those who are making the wild card rounds, you're done. It's just like that. That's what makes football so exciting. Because you have to fight to the end. Now we at the last 2 weeks of the season. Now it's go time for a couple of teams, because a couple of teams are fighting to get in that wild card spot. It's a lot of teams with the same record, but they got to win a game. Then you got to hope that this team loses a game, and then you got to hope that this team ties or beats the other team by like 2 points in order for them to get in. Like, yo, shit like that makes it so exciting to watch. But when you just giving the ninth seed and the 10th seed a way to get in to how to get into the playoffs, that ruins everything. Because they're not fighting for it. And it's like, I don't have to fight for it. I just got to be the 10th seed. That ruins everything. That makes the participation that makes participation shit not worth it, bruh. Like, what's the purpose? Because now nobody wants to be the number 2 or nobody. And then that's another thing too. Nobody wants to be the number 1 or number 2 seed because they don't know who they're going to face. They want to be prepared. You would rather be the 3rd seed or the 4th seed or the 5th seed or the 6th seed and know who you're going up against versus being the number 1 or number 2 seed, which has been the dominant teams of the whole year. And then you end up with a Miami-Milwaukee situation. You end up with situations where teams aren't prepared to go up against these teams, and you're not giving them the proper time to prepare for other teams, but other teams got that opportunity, and that's not fair. If I'm the number 1 seed, I should know that I'm playing the 8th seed. If I'm the number 2 seed, I should know that I'm playing the 7th seed. That's how it's been. That's how it always should be. We need to stop changing unnecessary rules. It's crazy, bro. That's just one of the biggest factors. The next biggest factor is probably the fact that Adam Silver has to go. Adam Silver needs to be fired. He's ruined this league. He has turned this league upside down. Ever since he has taken over, this league has turned upside down. The players have way too much power. I think didn't Mike Brown just get fired for calling out coaches can't even coach no more. If a coach gets on a star player, how the fuck are you gonna get the best out your players and you can't even fucking coach them no more? And now people are firing the coaches to appease the players because they're not trying to lose the big money. Instead, it used to be, well, that's the coach. If you ain't going to do what the coach going to say you're going to do, then shoot, maybe we should start looking into other superstars. Which is why I think that the in-season tournament should be for the top 10 worst team, the top 5 worst teams of each conference. Put them up against each other in a 10-team tournament, single elimination. You eliminate so many problems because think about it. The Pelicans got a Zion problem. Zion can't stay healthy. They can't play him. They've been trying to get the number 1 seed. So let's see if the Pelicans can fight hard enough to see if they can get rid of Zion. You get the number 1 pick. And every team and every player on the team gets bonuses and all their incentives. So all their bonuses and all their incentives that they didn't reach automatically gets paid to their paycheck for the remainder of the year. So even if you didn't hit your incentives, now you got a reason to win. Because if your incentives was to be all NBA team or make the all-star team and you didn't complete those goals, guess what? Now you get the money for that. All your incentives, all your and your team gets the #1 draft pick. So now you're getting your team help. You're eliminating factors and teammates that don't really matter no more. It helps. It benefits the teams. I'm just keeping it real with you. It benefits the teams more than anything. That's why I think that having a tournament to determine who gets the #1 and #2 draft picks is perfect. It should be just that. Then another problem, like I said, Adam Silver is the main problem. But another problem, and this is my biggest problem. This is my biggest gripe with the NBA. And this is why I think the NBA, this is why the NFL will always be the dominant sport. They're good. That's why they can pull up to you on Christmas. That's why they can pull up on Christmas and do numbers on Netflix. NBA. That's why they can pull up and do numbers, LeBron. Talk about the NBA is the Christmas is our day. The NFL need to go somewhere. Nah, the NFL can do what the fuck they want to do. You want to know why? Because that's a sport that we actually want to fucking watch. Don't nobody want to sit up here and watch that bullshit that y'all doing. LeBron, shut your bitch ass up, bro. You ain't no fucking king. You don't get to speak for us. Fuck you. We like football more than we like basketball right now. Basketball is trash. Like I said, and this is the biggest problem because the NFL had this problem too, but the NFL saw the problem. They eliminated it. They like, we understand it, but it's like, no, we ain't finna keep doing that bullshit. We ain't finna cater. We ain't finna cater to the masses. And that's this wokey woke shit. That's this wokey woke shit, this LGBTQ shit, all this other garbage. All of it has to go. We are here for sports. Sports. I don't need politics with my sports. I don't need LGBTQ with my sports. I don't need woke bullshit with my sports. I just want to watch the best basketball players go up against each other. I don't need none of this woke nonsense. I don't need niggas supporting Caitlin Clark. I don't need people supporting the WNBA. I don't care about that shit. Nobody cares about the WNBA. Stop trying to make us support it. Stop forcing it on us. Stop trying to make us go out there and go vote. Go take a day off election day so everybody can go vote. Nobody cares about politics, bro, when it comes to sports. Sports and politics should be separated. They should be far in between each other. I don't want to see LeBron on Twitter typing about Donald Trump. I don't want to hear him I don't want to hear that. You want to find the players for something, find the players for being woke. Shut that shit up. Shut up and dribble. That's what I want. I want niggas to shut the fuck up and dribble. I'm tired of this wokey woke shit. That's what's really killing the league right now. And that's what's turning so many people off, especially with this democratic agenda that's in the NBA as well. Listen, if you want to be a Republican or a Democrat, that's you. I don't care. I don't vote. I see both sides for what they are. Okay, I don't care. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to make me think I should be a Democrat and put Kamala Harris and Obama and all these fucking at the games and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? All this woke nonsense. When Trump was in office, all the teams refused to go see him. Who the fuck gave you a right to say that? And then another thing too is you're alienating people who think different, who may be more who may be more conservative than liberal. So you're taking them out the game and you're making them feel bad and you're making them think that they're watching a product that's not fair to them because they think a different way. Michael Jordan said it best. Republicans buy my shoes too, so why should I care? And that's how the NBA should be. R.I.P. to David Stern. R.I.P. to David Stern. One time for David Stern, please. One time for David Stern, please. R.I.P. to David Stern. But that brother knew what he was doing, bro, with this league, bro. He knew what he was doing with this league. Even though sometimes he be on bullshit with Allen Iverson. I still don't forgive him for what he was doing to Allen Iverson. But for real, though, he knew what he was doing with this league, though. And that's basically making sure that the players understand, hey, look, man, I need you to do this, do that, do this. All you got to do is show up. All you got to do is show up, play the game, shut the fuck up. When David Stern left, and this bitch ass nigga Adam Silver took over, niggas want to talk now. Niggas don't want to show. You got Greg Popovich out here telling people it's a disgrace how this country can vote for Donald Trump. Why are you saying that in the public to people who just you're alienating so many people? That's bad business. That's why the ratings are down, because everybody sees the NBA as a liberal, woke sport. They don't see it as a basketball sport no more. So they don't respect it now because you accepted the woke agenda. When we stop accepting the woke agenda, we can get back to business. Everybody can make money because you're not eliminating and you're not taking away from other people who think differently. So what if the gay community is a fascinating community to get behind? Don't nobody want to see that shit. Don't nobody want to see rainbows and shit like that on the court. Niggas just want to see niggas hooping, bro. Don't nobody want to see this LGBTQ nonsense on the court, bro. Don't nobody want to see this Black Lives Matter on the court. We don't want to see that, bro. We just want to see basketball. Shut the fuck up and dribble. Stop putting politics with sports, man. It's not a good look. The NFL realized that. The NFL dove into it. That was like, all right, well, they're calling us racist and all this shit. I think we got to face the woke agenda. And then they did it for a little bit. They started losing fans, and then they started losing money. And then when the revenue started going down, the ratings started going down, they was like, you know what? Fuck that shit. Go and put that shit back. Man, go and put that shit back to normal, man. We ain't doing that shit no more. We America's sport. And that's what they did. They focused specifically on being an American sport. That's what all you got to do is be an American sport. We don't need all this political nonsense in there, bro. We don't need all this woke bullshit in there, bro. There's a reason why they tell y'all to shut up and dribble. I'm not looking at LeBron as somebody who I can get behind to, Black power. Because when it's time to step out on the lines, LeBron James is nowhere to be found. Just a little FYI for y'all, LeBron dick riders and wokey woke niggas out there. When it's time to step out on the battlefield, LeBron James, your Lord and Savior, LeBron James ain't out there on the battlefield. He at his house. He in his big comfy house, tweeting, talking about some, Black Lives Matter. Yeah. All my black brothers and black sisters. Yeah. Putting pictures of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King on this fucking pit on his Instagram and shit. Fuck out of here. Stop it. That's the real big issue nobody's talking about. You're alienating one side with the Democratic views. And that's not cool, bruh. That's not cool. You got teams and players that don't want to go to the White House and take a picture with and take a picture with the president because they don't agree with the president that's in charge. What type of shit is that? When George Bush was in charge, Kobe went up there. Kobe ain't complain. Shaq went up there. Kobe and Shaq went up there and ain't complain. I ain't hear Greg Popovich complaining then when George Bush was in charge. He was always up there with the Spurs jersey, shaking the man hand and shit. But now Trump in charge. Now all of a sudden it's we can't go up there. We can't be up there with that man. That man's gonna make us look bad. And the league accepted that? Disrespecting the president of the United States? Disrespecting America? And do you wonder why the ratings are down? Because you're doing stupid shit. Stop with this wokey woke shit, man. That's the real problem. If you stop with the wokey woke shit, you stop giving out participation trophy awards. You get rid of Adam Silver. You put somebody in charge that's going to specifically just sit there and focus on the game of basketball and just focus on making the game of basketball what it is. We will get somewhere. Ratings will go right back up. It's not so much the 3-point shooting. I do agree that the 3-point shooting is a little too much. I do agree that there needs to be more emphasis on defense. Maybe bringing back hand checking may be a good thing. I think bringing back hand checking would be a good thing. I think that would be good. Because it'll take away so much movement for the offensive players. Because if you give something back to the defense, now defense becomes more of an emphasis now. Now those guys that really could play defense can actually play fucking defense. Now they can get up on you. Now they can put some scratches and bruises up on you. So now you got to really work for that basket, which means now players got to get more creative, which means they go step out from that 3-point line and step into that paint. But I digress though. Y'all ain't gonna hear me though, because y'all just heard what I said and y'all think, man, you can't know what you talking about, man. LeBron James can say what he want to say, man. You talk about some shut up and dribble. I'm gonna let you ignorant, stupid, blinded ass niggas do what you want to do, man. I just speak the truth for what it is, bro. I see it for what it is, bro. I see it truly for what it is, bro. Participation trophy awards, wokey woke nonsense. Adam Silver is the worst fucking commissioner of all fucking time. The worst. He worse than Roger Goodell. Yes, Roger Goodell may not be the best. He may be far from the best. But he ain't Adam Silver. Adam Silver is terrible. The league is destroyed. If we do certain things that could benefit teams more than the players, we could get this shit back in check, man. But I digress, though. But anyways, so that's just going to about do it for this one. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. Till then, peace out.